All right, good evening, guys. It's your girl, which came in, and we are finally live for the last day in the East Africa Clash qualifiers. And this is the Group D. We are in the first game of the night. That is Orangel, and the flight path is looking quite fair. It's coming from Primorsk, from surrounding all the way to Primorsk. I mean, we've been seeing how people have been taking Erangel from the word go. They've been choosing their fights late in the game. They've been waiting till the fourth zone so that they can engage. But then we don't know what Group D is up to. We don't know if they're going to be like Group C, B, or A. So we're just going to watch the games and see if that's going to be the case for this game or for this group, or it's going to be a little bit different. But before we do that, how you guys feeling tonight? We're just getting started. I hope you guys have been enjoying the live. I hope you've been enjoying the games there that have been produced to you guys by GP Esports. Big shout out to them. And for everyone else who's already here, thank you so much for joining. I can see Shingshan there. Hi, long time no see. Welcome to the East Africa Clash live games. Vulai as well. Bukwaje, welcome as well. Riddle as well. Karibu Sana. We're just getting started. I mean, we saw teams like Four Strength Brothers. They dominated the first day group A, and then we had Group B there. Actually, for Group B, if I'm being honest, that's the group that mostly we were so uncertain of how the games are going to play out, and then we had people coming and telling us, you know what, there's this one team from Ethiopia that does a good job, and you're going to have to watch till the end to see it. And then they actually surprised us. Relentless Esports came in there from Ethiopia, got their chicken dinners, did their thing. So I don't know if tonight you're going to be seeing another team that we do not know of. Okay, we know them, but not in our region. So I hope you're going to get surprised a little bit there. And then we had Group C games happening, and then two teams decided they're the only teams that are going to be getting the winner chicken dinner. We had the team that is Invincibles Esports from Kenya. Then we had Blacklist Esports as well from Somalia. These two teams got their chicken dinners back to back. One wins the first game. Blacklist Esports wins game one. Invincibles wins game two. Blacklist wins game three. Invincibles wins game four. I mean, this is, I'm not even going to say I can predict now what is going to happen in the last game for this group that is Group D, because we're just getting started. We have good teams from every single country that has been represented here. We're just going to wait and see from the teams that have been represented, what are we going to be expecting tonight? Is it going to be Neon Esports Somalia? Are we going to be seeing Magicians as well? Are you going to be seeing RRAGE Esports, REDSO, MAU Esports, CAS Esports? We don't know what's going to happen, but already, just like Game C yesterday, we had fights happening there. And in Georgia Pool, seems crowded there. We can see one of the players getting really damaged. 4 buckets are full. Feeling very confident again. Going for that push, not knowing there's a camper right there. And we have one of the 4PF players getting knocked, but then good cover. S12K from Nacho getting a knock and an immediate thirst. And that's how you cover your teammate. One of the other teammates from ZEUS, Morris, is really low, thinking of whether to go for that push. And now we can see one of them has actually made it to the push there. Nacho getting shot from the back. S12K is out, and GG's second knockdown for PF, and he's still going in for that push. Another player is down. Someone from the ZEUS team is coming from the back, sandwiching the last player from 4PF. S12K is in, and ZEUS Morris takes out 4 pockets are full as the first team to be eliminated. The game just began, and we have one team being taken back to lobby already. That is quite unfortunate for the 4 pockets full. Though sometimes it happens in the competitive scene. We never know when the fights begin or when they'll come to an end. But for 4PF, that is just the end of the road for them. When it comes to game one of the night there, we can see Rozok as well seems a little bit heated. We have a team here, SLYTHERIN and Project X. We already see that Project X has gotten 2 knocks there on Sly team. They're getting the faster. That means only one person remains. We can see him trying to retreat here, but then Kurt is going closer to the last player from that team. Rozok is a very rare place to be seen fights happening really early in the game. But then for this Group D, it seems like they're ready to engage. They're already going for those pushes. We've seen 4PF been eliminated in Georgia Pool. We can see another team here almost getting eliminated, and Project X are not letting these guys slide. It's no longer, we're not going to call them Project X anymore, because the way they're going for this Sly player, it's going to be Project Sly from tonight. But let's just wait and see. We've been seeing solos, they're dominating the games. We've had people taking the risks, they're going for those, they're getting pushed, but then they still keep their composure and get to finish a whole team by themselves. That we have another team here called the MOTO Kings, and right in front of them, there's another team as well. And it's going to be quite unfortunate if we're taken back slowly early enough as well. But we have the Sly player getting the first knock, another nade getting hooked up by Kurt. Are we going to be seeing a Kobe on Sly? But then he gets the second knock there, but then the nade connects, and we have a Kobe from Kurt getting the last player from Sly. Project Sly does come to completion, and they finally get to complete their task. Now we have at least two teams being taken back to lobby. Sly is in lobby. Four pockets of full as well is in lobby. Project X almost lost it to one player. Like I said, sometimes we cannot underestimate a solo. They tend to do the unexpected, that they get to clutch teams by themselves when the tension is there, and they choose to keep their composure, and the team, the opponent's team is confident. They tend to go for that push without thinking it through, and that one solo takes them back to lobby. And now let's just have a quick look at what is happening here on the flight, on the safe zone after the flight disappeared. Seems like a Primos, Fieri, Pierre. We had at least three teams landing on the same place there, and the zone is decided to move them because it's on the northern side of Orangel, going to Severny shooting range school. We have at least two teams in Yasnaya Poliana. We have another team going closer to them. That is actually two teams going towards them. School and Rozok is also a little bit crowded. We have at least three teams there as well. Georgia Pool has a single team, and teams are now closing into the zone. The zone is shifting. People are getting exposed to third-party fights. It doesn't have to be now. Yes, we have seen some teams have been taken back to lobby, but then that doesn't mean that they're going to be taken back to lobby again. Tables do turn and things happen. So let's just wait and see if that's going to be the case or not. Are we going to be seeing new teams taking on the winner chicken dinner, unexpected teams are doing the things we do not expect them to do. But let's just wait and see if that's going to be the case or not here when it comes to these games. Remember, these are the East Africa Clash qualifiers. We finished Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D is now playing tonight. We've only seen them taking fights this early, but we're not going to speculate anything. But as you enjoy the live stream, usually do the usual. Make sure you like the live, share the live stream link, and subscribe to my channel as you get to enjoy these games. Make sure you call in your friends to come join us, and we can get to see what is going to happen tonight. It is what it is. Again, big shout out to everyone who's already here in the live stream. Thank you for the likes and the subs. Let's continue enjoying the East Africa Clash games. Like I said just now, we had a team there. The zone is forcing these teams to get closer to each other. We have a team in query. I don't know what they're doing there till at this time. The zone is becoming a little bit intense. The damage is going to be there. They have to start moving, because if they do not, they're going to be exposed to very early unfortunate losses, and that is going to be the zone enjoying their kills. Looking at Rose up there, we also have teams gathering up there. School is empty. Everyone just left the school. They don't want to be close to each other anymore. We don't have anyone, even a single team, going to Severny. Everyone is far out. No one is closer to each other. We can see this phrase here. Excuse me, REDSO, a sporting a team passing by. We have a fast knock there. Ghost is down. They're trying to cook up a nade. They're trying to get some cover on their teammate. We have a DBS player here. Moon is ready to go for that pusher with the DBS. Another nade is getting cooked up. The teams are right in front of them there. The nade again is in. Moon tries to get the knock here, but then the nades are not connecting. They're not getting any damage on the players. They're beautiful. He gets a spray there. Do we have a knock there? The bullets, I don't know where they're going to, but then he doesn't really get a knock there. Does get some damage, but then it doesn't really lead to a knock, and that's totally something that happens sometimes. We have REDSO basically trying to cover his teammate here, Moon, as he tries to do a number on the team that is right in front of them, but then they decide to retreat. Tebri trying to get closer to his teammate to go for that push, but then nothing really happens because they have Project X watching from afar. The damage there, REDSO is really, really damaged. Mao eSports from Mauritius is in the building. Another team there. We know that they're good at the game. We have Rage eSports as well. A very good team is in the building. We have a team like Strike eSports. We're yet to see what they can do in the game. Shooting range is looking a little bit crowded. Teams are now closing in on each other. The fight there is going to be a little bit intense, and we're going to wait and see what is going to happen here. Are we going to be seeing intense fights happening or not? Then again, we're just getting started. The game is still fresh. The players haven't warmed up yet. Some people, yes, have been fighting, but then nothing has really changed yet. We have one of the players there from Moto Kings, Boomerang, getting a knock. That means we'll be seeing a fight there, but then we're going to be going to the third phase of the zone. The second phase is already done. The damage is increasing. I'm not sure if the other teams already made it to the zone. They're just looking at the map. We still have teams in the blue juice. I don't know how they're still there, what they're doing there, but then I don't think it is the right time to be there for now. Shooting range as well is looking a little bit crowded again. Teams are getting closer to each other. You have players here from Strike Esports, Starlights are trying to pick up a nade here. They have a team right in front of them. The nades are just getting thrown towards the direction where they feel the enemy is, but then the nades are not really connecting. The nades are going there, but then nothing is really happening because the players here have decided to change their position. Starlight getting exposed there. The first knock is in, and the Strike Esports is now feeling this, the pressure. Sook is damaged. They are not picking the right fight as of now. You have to be careful on which fight you want to pick. Already two of their players might just be taken back to lobby. Starlight getting tested. We can see more damage on their end there. They're getting damaged. They're trying to survive here. I don't know if that's going to be the case, or we're going to be seeing that later. And now we have the players here from Moto Kings. One of their teammates, Boomerang, was not, but then nothing happened here. Strike Esports player there, the solo man standing from his team quite low. The zone is in. The damage is there, is getting pushed, is getting surrounded. His teammate is quite fine. We have another knock there on Strike Esports, and it is GG's for that player. One player remains standing from Strike Esports. I don't know what is going to happen here for now, but then the best thing for this player is going to be to go towards a safe zone. He's already outside the zone. He needs to get towards the safe zone and think of a place he's going to hold. The zone is now closing in. We can hear some fire. They're coming from the northern side, just right next to him. A lot is going to be happening here. And for this player, all he needs to do is change his position, or he's going to be exposed. The zone is about to close in, and the zone decides Severny, the land that has no one landing there, is going to be the safe zone for the next zone. We have the last player from Strike Esports getting taken back to lobby. That is because the magicians right behind them are watching this fight from afar. Now teams are getting forced to get closer to each other. 13 teams are remaining in the game, and the best strategy is to hold the safest place possible. For now, that does not seem like the case for them here. We have RRAGE eSports trying to figure out a place they can hold. Shooting range is a very tricky place to fight, especially if you do not know where to hold or where to be while the fights happen. We have more esports, their beautiful spray. Matrox doesn't really get any damage there, but then they are aware that there's a team right next to him. He's trying to scope out the place, trying to scout out the place, but then they have to be careful. The zone is getting smaller. Teams are going to be getting closer, looking at what is happening to the safe zone right now. Teams are coming from Stalba. We have teams coming from shooting range, Rozhok. Severny is still empty. No one is going to Severny, but then we have a team flanking towards the western side of Severny. They're going closer to that side as well as the eastern side of Severny. We're going to be seeing teams going there, but then now one of the teams again has been eliminated. 12 teams remaining. ZEUS Esports watching from afar. Not really ZEUS Esports, but ZEUS MORIS are watching from afar. Nothing is happening to their team. Everyone is basically playing safe. Everyone is maintaining their cool. I don't know if it's the lobby that's actually stressful or what is happening here, but then it seems like it's not an easy day for them here. They're just maintaining their spots. Neon Esports as well are watching from afar. They don't want to engage at all, but then Severny is about to get a little bit crowded, so they need to be prepared, because if you're not ready, teams will be rushing in, trying to secure the buildings, trying to secure the safe zones. And if you've taken the safest spot, someone might have to kick you out of that building. But then we're yet to see whether that's going to be the case or not. 12 teams in the game. We have basically almost every region right now in this last lobby, that is Group D, last day of the qualifiers. Already we have 27 teams that have qualified. When it comes to the East Africa Clash qualifying stage, remember $2,000 is on the line. Every single team that makes it to the final, as long as you're in the top 16, you get to walk away with a portion of the prize pool, and the MVP goes home with $100. Question is your team, or are you going to be the MVP and get a chance of getting something from the prize pool when it comes to the East Africa Clash? So make sure you put your best foot forward and get those kills in. Mau eSports here getting closer. They can see a team passing by. We can see the damage there from his teammate, but then nothing happens. No knock has been registered. Everyone right now is a little bit tense. The zone is getting smaller. Third phase of the zone, going to the fourth phase, is going to be a little bit more damaging as well. They're going to be losing teams to this blue zone. And the best strategy as of now is making it to the safe zone. Zone is closing in a few seconds. Varney finally has a team occupying that place. It was an empty land, and no one landed in that place. No one wanted to go there. And then the zone decides, then people are going to be pushed from the places they thought they were safe. And now every single team has to move apart from the teams in Savarni and shooting range. Those teams are safe for now. Whatever is happening in this game, one Erangel zones, the zone is getting close in very, very unexpected locations. You hold one place and you get moved to another place. We have a team here, the Gold Diggers. I don't know what they're digging. I don't know if it's gold or the prize pool. But then we hope that their skills lead them to getting something from the prize pool. We have ESPADA as well, taking on the shooting range, trying to stay there. But then Neon eSports, is also closer to shooting range. At least 4 teams are now closing in on shooting range. Gold diggers are taking their seat time, camping it out, or rather holding strategically the shooting range area, and they don't want to engage in a fight yet. Teams are getting taken down. ZEUS is still having a good time getting their knocks and thrusts confirmed. But then we still have 12 teams remaining. Esports, their beautiful spray doesn't get anything happening there, but spray does connect. Atrox there gets his first knock. He can still see the players there from MOTO Kings here getting engaged, and we have another knockout. Magicians are not having a really, really good time now. Kali there and his teammates are getting taken back to lobby one by one. Magicians as well, they have at least 3 of their players down, 1 player remaining. Boomerang, the reflex there from ZEUS MORIS is actually very surprising, because Boomerang had the upper hand. The gun was at the back, but then ZEUS player there does get reflexing with the S12K and takes him all the way back to lobby. I don't know what happened there with Boomerang, but then it's quite unfortunate that happened to him. Probably things have been a little bit better if he got that spray connecting on the player from ZEUS. Now we have the Magicians here. Still, 1 player remains from their team, that is Smokey. The other is down. We have a push there, and GG's. Smokey is down. At least 3 or more teams are around this place. Everyone is getting third party. For Magicians, they were just from finishing a fight, and they still got pushed here by ZEUS MORIS. The smoke is in. Beautiful strategy there, smoking your teammate to get the revive. As we can see, the players from Mau eSports getting closer, closing in. Just moving around, going to the safest place in the zone. It is closing in. And the players from ZEUS MORIS should probably start moving, because if they do not, the zone might just be enjoying them for supper tonight. We have now 10 teams remaining. Savarni is finally looking a little bit crowded. We had no one in Savarni. I don't know why, or why no one decided to go to Savarni, but then we're a little bit crowded. We have the players from Aesthetic Extreme. Sorry. How are they Aesthetic Extreme? What's making them Aesthetic Extreme? We're about to see what makes them that, but probably because of what they have in the game there. We have ZEUS MORIS now trying to make it to the safe zone. Shooting range is no longer safe for this team. Just have a quick look at what is happening here. Mau eSports are watching from afar. ZEUS MORIS trying to make it to the safe zone. Atrox also trying to get some sprays here to connect, to get a knock on the players from ZEUS. They're trying to make it to the zone, but then they have been spotted, and one of their players has been knocked and fasted. We still have the Gold Diggers, not really camping it out. I have a habit of saying camping, but then they're strategically holding that tunnel, waiting for someone to make a mistake. Espada as well, they're just holding the same place in shooting range. I don't think they want to move a muscle, because it is the only safe place that is in the zone and has some building cover for their team. We have now 10 teams remaining, 26 players remaining in the game. I don't know what their strategy is going to be there, but we have Aesthetic Extreme spotting the players right in front of them. One of the teammates is down. 2 players remaining standing. Venom, he's trying to heal up, but then we have another team coming in. We have him trying to cook up some nades, smoking the whole place just to be a little bit safe. The nades are getting cooked up, but the smokes, we know if the nade is going to get any Kobe's. They need to be careful. Aesthetic Extreme player here trying to change his location. They need to start thinking fast because the teams now closing in. 10 teams is not an easy thing to be around. 10 teams, that means everyone is literally everywhere in shooting range. And we have now a Venom watching from afar, trying to get some knocks here, but then nothing is connecting. Players are losing players. Teams are losing players. 2 vehicle knocks, and Project X goes in where we have the players from Ava. We don't know what is going to happen here, but then Project X is down at least 2 players. One of them is right next to them, snaking it out, waiting for a chance to do something. But then RRAGE eSports are now changing their location position because where they're holding right now is not safe. The zone is closing in. Teams are getting lost to the zone already. One of the players from RRAGE eSports has been knocked by the zone. We also have a push here. Mao eSports tries to go for that push, and then GG's DBS to the face, and the guy has been taken back. Slowly, the push doesn't really work for him, and it is GG's for the guy. RRAGE eSports, last player remaining from his team, is now holding it out. Project X, last player as well, is trying to hold it out, but they have a team right behind them. 9 teams remaining. Only 1 team has been taken back to lobby, actually a single player, and that was Mao eSports player getting DBS to the face. Quite unfortunate there. But then the game is just getting started. Cars eSports as well. They're full team, luckily for them. The zone is about to shift again. People are going to be forced to go towards where we have the player from RRAGE. I don't know what his strategy is. I'm hoping he has grenades, enough nades to do a lot of pre-nades before people go for that push. But then ZEUS, MORIS going for that push. The nade doesn't really connect, but the damage is there. The pre-fires getting a lot of damage. And GG's another DBS kill tonight. And we have the player there from ZEUS, MORIS, being taken back. Lobby. Project X are still watching from afar, and the last player there has been spotted. He actually passed by quite open. I don't know how it was not spotted, but then it does happen sometimes. You're trying to heal up, and the first thing in your mind is first heal up, then engage another team. They're being taken back to lobby. We have just 5 teams remaining. Gold diggers are passing by. 2 of their players remaining. We have Luksh. Yes, Luksh. He's all not remaining with his teammate. Goes for that push there. There's a team right in front of him here with a heal, and he's holding the S12K. I mean, today we have been seeing nothing but S12K kills. The gold diggers are getting knocked there. We have one of their players. He's down, and of course, that is an immediate cast from Cars eSports. 4 teams remaining. Nades are now flying in. The shotguns are now coming to play. RRAGE eSports player Attackers is actually the safest player when it comes to this game, but now the zone is trying to be very evil, and it's forcing him to go outside and go where every other single team is right now. 3 teams remaining. Has eSports, RRAGE eSports. I don't know what these 2 teams are going to be doing because, as you can see, their POVs, they are the only ones. Actually, Kaz eSports is the only team that can see the RRAGE eSports player clearly in case he decides to move his location. But then I don't know if that's going to be the case for him, or are they going to wait it out and see what is going to happen. RRAGE eSports player Tacos has only one thing to do, and that is wait for this team to take each other out. Otherwise, being a solo, best thing you can do is camp and wait for your chance. He exposes his location, and that means he has just cooked himself now, trying to smoke up the place here, trying to see where he can be safe a little bit to engage in this fight. Cars eSports are waiting for a chance to go for that push. The nade does connect, and that gives Venom a chance to go for that push. We can see Holo going for that push as well. Cars eSports DBS is in. The shot does connect there, gets his first knock, and then S12K is in. He's knocked and casted immediately. The zone is closing in. RRAGE eSports player Attackers, last player remaining, watching from afar, might just be the only thing stopping Aesthetic Extreme from getting the winner chicken dinner. But then let's see what's going to happen here, because Tacos has been surviving this whole time as a solo, and things have been changing. He has been proven to be doing what is best so far, and even though he exposed his location, he's still around. But then again, the zone is about to close in. Both teams are supposed to go closer to each other. I don't know what they're going to do, but it's going to be a little bit hectic here. It's about to be a fight of a 1v1 between the Aesthetics Extreme and the player from RRAGE eSports, who is the best when it comes to 1v1 tackles. There does get the fast shots, get some damage on Venom, tries to molly up the place here. Might just be an advantage to get a little bit more damage on the last player from Aesthetics. So the nades are still flying in. Nothing is connecting yet. He's just getting those nades in, but then no damage is there. Attackers needs to take his time and cook up those nades. Now we can have a beautiful Kobe on the last player from Aesthetic Extreme. Venom does get some damage there on Tacos, tries to cook up more nades, but but then nothing is connecting. The nades from Tacos are not connecting at all, and now it's time for Venom to now use his bubbles and get Venom out of his hiding spot here. He's smoking, he's cooking, and it is GG's for Tacos. And just like that, the Aesthetics Extreme have now explained why they are the Aesthetics Extreme players. GG's to you guys for that winner chicken dinner. GG's to the Aesthetics Extreme for that beautiful fight. They have actually under that win. Their player, their Venom, was patient enough. Tacos had the chance of getting something happening there, but then the nades were not connecting. Their player was just getting those nades towards where we had the player from Aesthetic Extremes, but nothing was really connecting the teams. The nades were just flying in, going at different locations, but then Venom's Molly did not miss. Venom's Molly got a lot of damage on the last player from Rage Esports, and that did give him a chance to get the winner chicken dinner for his team. So of course, GG's to you Aesthetics. We understand why you're the team with the Aesthetics. They patiently waited out that fight, and that did give them that win. So GG's to you guys. Looking at the winner in a chicken dinner stats for their team, they are Venom getting 4 eliminations, dealing a damage of 322, and Federal getting 1 elimination, a damage of 101. Uris, getting 0 eliminations, 0 damage. Yonko as well getting 0 eliminations and 0 damage for his team. That does happen as well sometimes. These things happen. You try to engage in a fight, but then it doesn't really work out. You don't get anything happening because you've been taken back to lobby. And now we can see that man of the match, of course, it was going to be Tacos. The man really did put out a lot of effort for his team, getting 6 eliminations and a damage of 840, a survival time of 23 minutes, and getting 5 knockouts throughout the game. We saw how Tacos handled the last fight there. It was all in or nothing because he was only remaining from his team. Yes, he did not really work out as how he wanted it to be because the nades were not really connecting, but then at least he got the man of the match. And from that game, we have Aesthetic Extreme going home with 15 points, Rage Esports getting 13 points. We have Kaz Esports and ZEUS MORIS tying at 11 points, Project X getting 10 points, Neon Esports 7 points, Gold Digger 6, ATLMAGICIANS 5, ESPADA 4, REDSO 2, tying with MOTO Esports at 2, Four Pockets Full at 1 point, Strike Esports, SFCX Esports 0, SLYTHERIN 0 as well. The last teams there did not really get any points in their bag. Looking at the head-to-head here, Aesthetic Extreme getting 5 total eliminations, with Rage getting 7. A total damage dealt at 423 for Aesthetics and 1,524 Rage Esports, 7 knockouts Rage Esports aside, and we have Aesthetic Extreme getting 2 knockouts. Both teams there did spend a couple of minutes in the blue juice. We can say Aesthetic Extreme getting 3 minutes in, and for Rage Esports getting 2 minutes in when it comes to the amount of time spent in the blue zone. That is actually expected, seeing how the zone rotations are very late from these teams, and it actually does happen. So GG's to both teams. We have the player with the most eliminations in this game, and that is Rage Esports player Tacos. Coming in with the highest damage is Project X player Knight. Grenade elimination 1 from ZEUS Fabian. Longest elimination 336 meters from ESP Vitams, and the top traveler as Tacos from Rage Esports with 2,758 meters covered. GG's to those teams that have gotten these titles for their team. We were just getting started. That was game 1. I mean, you can only imagine what is going to happen on game 2 in the next few minutes. Of course, do not go anywhere. Just make sure you like the live, share the live stream link, and subscribe to my channel. We'll be back. Welcome back to the second game of the night. These are the Group D games for the East Africa Clash qualifiers. Game one was actually very interesting. I mean, Tacos had the chance of doing something impressive, but then I don't know what happened there. The nades did not connect, and then Venom came in, got that molly connecting, and we had a winner chicken dinner for the Aesthetics Extreme team. And now we're in the game two. Like we've been seeing a pattern. So if Extreme Aesthetics got their winner chicken dinner game one, probably they're going to be getting another chicken dinner throughout either the last three games. We're just going to have to watch till the end to see if that's going to be the case or not. But for now, how you guys doing? We're just continuing for the East Africa Clash qualifying games. Make sure you hit that like button as much as you can. Make sure you confirm that the number of people watching are equal to the number of likes by the time you hit your like button. Subscribe to my channel and share the live stream link, and let's get to enjoy the East Africa Clash qualifiers. In the first game, Erangel, we had teams being taken back slowly as early as the first zone. I don't know if that's going to be the case for Miramar. Sometimes Miramar can be quite overwhelming. It is a big map, but then people engage in fights quite early in the game. They land together, they expose themselves to third party fights. Anyone can land anyone, but then because of this flight path coming from the north, um, western side to the eastern side of Miramar, we are seeing now that the safe zone actually went far away from everyone else. Everyone landed towards El Pozo, Montenuevo, but then the zone decided it's going to be around El Azar, water treatment, junkyard. We're going to be seeing a lot of teams that are trying to move from this side of the map, that is the western side, towards the northeastern side of Miramar. I don't know how that's going to happen, but then they need to start figuring it out as early as now. The fights in El Pozo might be the first thing we'll be seeing in the game that is in Miramar. We have a couple of teams there together as well. The fights there are definitely going to happen. That is something you're going to be expecting to see sooner or later. But before we see that, we need to understand how are people planning to play this game. This already is the last day for the qualifiers. The 27 teams have already qualified, and now we need the last 9 teams to qualify. We go to the next stage where we're going to be having a little bit more intense fights, because the groups are going to be shuffled all over again. You thought you have mastered your group, then it's going to be a little bit different for you this time round. Already we have a team, they've been taken back slowly. I think this are the Aesthetics team. I can see Magician as well. The Magicians have at least two kills in their bag here. They're doing their thing. They're being Magicians, getting early fights, early kills for their team. That's actually really good. But then they have to be careful. Do not engage in a fight if you have not really made it up quite well for this game. Aesthetic Extreme, actually, it's not them. I thought the AS, but there's this AES. I didn't see the E. But then Aesthetic Extreme has a team right next to them. We have as well Strike eSports. So there's a team right next to them as well. So a fight will definitely happen. Like I said, for people, Miramar is usually a big map, but then they land so many teams together that they are forced to engage in a fight as early as the first one, even before you can understand where we're going to go next, what is the type of rotation you're going to be taking in this game. With how the scores are so far, we know the aesthetics is right up there, up in the leaderboard, but then anything can happen. Yesterday, tables are turning, but not that much. Invincibles and Blacklist were on a back-to-back type of thing here, trying to get points happening for them. Rage Esports, unfortunately, have already been eliminated. The game has just begun. Rage Esports almost had the winner chicken dinner game one, and they have just lost a chance in game two to get the winner chicken dinner. That means that the pattern is no longer the same. We saw same patterns from the time we were watching Group A, B, and C, but then Group D seems to be a little bit different. The players are less aggressive. They're chilled. They're trying to make the right moves. Only 9 teams proceed. We need to be careful. Are we going to go for this fight? Are we going to avoid this fight? Strike Esports are getting the damage. They're on SLYTHERIN, and unfortunately, they did not get a knock here. But of course, as soon as they get a knock, we're going to be seeing a push up in there. But then one of the teammates, what's that name? I don't even know what that name is. But a Sly player here trying to cook up a nade. But we have a Kobe on the Strike Esports team. They're trying to get the reverb. The nade doesn't connect. The nade passes. They do not get any damage. We can see them trying to get some fire on each other. But then none of the teams is getting knocked. The nade there does connect. The damage is their Sly player trying to retreat here after getting the damage. S1 is out to play again. I've been seeing this. I kept on asking, why is everyone playing with this gun? what is it with this shotgun that everyone wants to play with it, but then we're yet to see what makes it so good. We have seen teams getting those knocks and thrusts so early, so fast with just the S1897. But I don't know if that's going to be the same thing tonight for this game. Are we going to be seeing a lot of shotgun fights? We've been seeing the S12K, DBS. We haven't seen the double barrel yet. So that's also something you're going to be on the lookout for. But we have SLYTHERIN, Kiss Me going for that push. What is wrong with these teams' names? But we have our first look there. Strike eSports doesn't lose one of their players. Um, being taken back to lobby there. Another nade is in, doesn't really connect, but then Starlight decides to move a little bit back there because the nade almost got to him. And now the Strike Esports players are trying to get that push. Mix is getting closer to Sly. The nade does connect, the damage is there, and that gives them a chance to go for that push. They can hear the guy healing up. The shotgun is in play, but then he's not really into it yet. He doesn't want to play with that shotgun yet. For now, they're still trying to gauge is this push worthy or not. We have the fast push there, and we can see some damage, but then everyone is missing the other. But then GG's to Strike Esports, they get their first knock there. GG's. We can see another Sly player getting closer. He has been spotted. Second knock on Sly. That means one person remains. That is a 21. Strike Esports is down one player. One of them is getting to go for that push as they get the revive. They're trying to get some damage on their knocked player here from a slide, the rain, but then 21 doesn't really have any grenades to get the nades flying where we have Strike Esports players so that they can stop them before they can get the faster slide player just getting closer, and we can see the push there. 21 is finally getting pushed. The pre-fires from Mix waiting for him to make a mistake, try to get some sprays here, but then he doesn't really pick at all. 21, they're getting exposed. The pre-fires from Strike Esports are definitely making him get a little bit tensed. He doesn't really understand whether he is supposed to go for that push or not. Slide the green now. Player 21 is going to get pushed. The meds are a little bit wanting. Like I said, I don't understand why people are choosing to engage in fights even before you can get looted up to engage in enough fights for your team. But it is what it is. It is Miramar. People tend to expose themselves to early fights. We can see the push there. Like trying to get some P-fires. Strike waiting for that perfect time to go for that push, and then GG's they're angry and they have taken him out. Of course, you can see how they're trying to spray that crate. That means they're telling the guy, sit down and behave, all right? And that's exactly what has happened there on Sly 21. He has been taken back to lobby. Moto Kings there. I can see people from the comment section saying, put Moto Kings, and they are finally here on your screens. Moto Kings, the first game, they unfortunately for them, they did not really get closer to the points, or rather, they did not really gather as much points as possible. But then this might be their chance, might be their saving grace. But then we don't know if that's going to be the case. The zone is now closing in. A lot of teams coming from the outside of the zone, that is the blue zone, going towards the safe zone, are people from Power Grid, Monte Nuevo, Los Leones. The zone is quite not really damaging that much, but then they have at least 2 minutes to make it to a safe zone without getting exposed. To the players here from Moto Kings, I believe this is what you call strategically holding a building. They do not want to move a muscle. They do not want to engage in any fight. All they want to do is lie down and look at each other's feet. And that is okay. It is totally allowed. We have a push here happening. One of the players that is down, Neon does go for that push on the Moto Kings. The camping actually made sense to them. They got their first knock there, and now this does give them a push to go ahead and go for that push. Neon Klaus with the last person remaining. Moto Kings going outside like the Rambos they are, and they take out the last player from Neon all the way back to lobby. Neon Morris have been taken back to lobby. GG's to you guys. You went in where people were strategically holding a building, staring at their feet, and it did pay out. And they're going right back to where they were. Mkali, the IGL of the team, takes them back to where they were initially holding the building, and now they're going to wait for another victim to fall prey of the same type of strategy. And now Moto Kings, all the best, because that's what you're doing is a very risky move there. We have teams coming from La Benita, Pecado, trying to make it to the safe zone. We have a team as well getting a very wide flank on the right side. That is Mau Esports are coming from the right side of Miramar. They don't want to engage in any fight. Doing a very very wide flank, but then they have 4PF right in front of them. You're going to be seeing a fight happening there sooner or later. Zone is about to close in a few minutes, and they're going to be forced to engage in that fight. A team in Cruz de Vel is very, very low. No one is right there next to them. Ahmad as well. Excuse me, we have one team there. No one is going closer to them. Water treatment has a team there as well, but then no one again is going towards them. I mean, everyone is basically taking their sweet time, avoiding this fight as much as possible. And this does happen sometimes. But well, at the end of the day, you're going to be getting closer to each other, and you're going to be forced to engage in a fight. 4PF here seems to be redeeming themselves for eliminations in the bag already. That is 4 points in for their team. In the first game in Wrangell, we saw 4PF being taken back to lobby as the first team, but then this time around, they seem to have taken their time, looked through the map, strategized what they're going to be doing, and it is finally paying off. We have ZEUS here, losing players. REDSO getting at least a one knock on ZEUS. Does, of course, confirm that knock. Moonbot having a good time with this. ZEUS player again is down, and we can see Terry passing by there with the beautiful F1 vehicle, but then it doesn't really happen to be what they want to do, that is engage. They get the Thursday, and ZEUS MORIS is going far away from everyone else. Right now, they do not want to engage in that fight at all. Two players are down. We have Fabian and Faker as the one remaining from their team. Mao eSports here can see a team right beneath them that is 4 pockets of full of skills. I don't know if that's going to be the case right now. Gardner and his teammates are going to be exposed. The Mao eSports watching from afar. 4PF Fury is down and has been taken back slowly. Jesus to you, Fury. And now we have just two players remaining from 4PF. I spoke too soon, but then unfortunately 4PF, the rotation there from Mao eSports, of course, led them directly to where we have the players from 4PF. Again, guys, if you're watching the live, make sure you're liking the live. Make sure the likes match the number of people watching. Just hit the like button, subscribe, and share the live stream link as we enjoy the East Africa Clash group qualifying stage as they make it to the next stage that will be starting on the 26th of February, and that is going to be the group stage. But for now, Mao Esports players Sky O, was it Sky O? He's gonna cook up some nades there towards 4PF Ghana. He's holding that compound, doesn't really want to expose himself. Ma Esports has at least two players right beneath them. They're flanking there. That does make sense. Making the right calls there. The nades are definitely making it to the building, but then no nade is getting any knock. Another nade is getting cooked up. That's a molly, the smoke actually that is remaining for him here. No more nades are to be thrown, and that means a lot is going to be taken a place between these two teams. Either 4PF will be forced to retreat, but then that's going to be close to impossible because as you see where Ma Esports is, two players right above 4PF, two players right in front of 4PF. You have 4PF Gardner, the man that carries this team patiently doing what he does best, and we know that is actually his strength. And I'm not saying that he's actually a good camper, but then he knows how to be patient and wait for a fight to come towards him. He will never go towards a fight, and that is actually what made them qualify in the Kenya qualifiers when they were trying to make it the ESC qualifiers stage. You have a nade there getting hooked up by Gardner. Atrox might just be hit with a Kobe. The nade doesn't really connect, but the damage is there. Another nade is getting hooked up. Come on, Gardner. The nade does land where Atrox is. Another nade flies in from Atrox, and it is down for Gardner. And now that leaves only one player remaining from 4PF, and that is Nacho. They're aware that this guy is the only one remaining. The nades are flying in. The damage is definitely there. The Nacho is very low, trying to heal up here, but then Mao Esports is getting closer. We're going to be seeing a lot happening here. The sprays are from Mao Esports are trying to get the last player from 4PF, that is Nacho. They know he's waiting patiently, going for that push, and GG's S12K is in. I don't know why Nacho went in and did not pre-fire. He just went directly to the last two Atrox, sorry, and that made him lose the fight here for his team. GG's to you, 4PF, for that. Better luck next time. And now we can see what is happening here. A lot is taking place. We're going to be seeing a lot of fights happening. I don't know if it's going to be a teams are exposing themselves third party fights, or is it going to be people camping and waiting like the Moto Kings? The camping did pay out. They got their kills, and that is how they survived. at the end of the day, we have now Project X here trying to get some trades on a team that is passing by. We're not sure if they're going to be staying here because that's very, very open, to be honest. They need to find a way of fixing what they want to do. Is it going to be playing open field? Is it going to be going to a safe place? What is their strategy there? We have the gold diggers, Genji, already have 4 points in their bag as well, trying to secure what they're doing, and that is get the points as much as possible, digging for that point. And just to have a quick look at what is happening to the safe zone, a lot of teams are getting exposed here to the blue juice. Actually, only one team is in the blue zone. We have all the teams have been in the safe zone. Moto Kings are still holding the same compound, feeling very, very excited about their strategy. Project X that goes to the compound there. They have another team that might be getting closer to them. Magicians right above them. Looking at where we have the players, we have a lot of teams actually. I thought it was Magicians only, but then when he did the rotation there, we saw a couple of teams right next to them. We have teams getting knocked right next to them as well. Strike eSports are getting sprayed from all corners. Magicians are not letting these players make it to the zone. Unfortunately, doing a very late rotation never really works out. The player here from Strike eSports, that is Mix, is a very, very low. The smokes are out. He needs to change his location as soon as possible if they're trying to be safe and make it to the next stage. But then the Magicians are not letting them do that. Starlight is a low, gets to heal up. Mix as well is very, very low. He is lacking in terms of meds. We're in this fourth phase of the zone. This is Miramar, biggest map. Because from a few days it's going to be Rondo, but for now Miramar being a very big map, the damage from the zone is a little bit high, and they need to start moving as soon as possible. Gold diggers, they're losing some players. Project X is closer to them. Zeus, Morris watching from afar. That means that gold diggers might be having a hard time going for that push there. Another player is down. That is Unity, leaving just 2 players standing. That is Genji and Faker. I don't know how they're going to be doing this, to be honest. But then let's see how this plays out for their team. And we're going to be seeing a lot of nades as well flying in. Project X player Knight here with the DBS, getting the pre-fires, the DBS, but then it doesn't really connect. The nades are flying in. Flex with Flex are cooking up a nade. We have a Kobe. Let's go. The nade does go in, doesn't really get a knock. And we have his teammate Genji there changing his location. Another nade getting hooked up. We have a Kobe. The nade is also coming towards him. Flex is safe because the first nade did get a knock there and is going to give them a chance to go for that push. Another nade flies in, does get a knock on his teammate. Quite unfortunate, actually. It's Project X that gets that nade. The pre-nade that does actually get some damage on his teammate. The nade there from Arya might be getting more damage on the players from Gold Diggers. But then the players here are definitely going for that revive. I don't know if that's the best strategy because on one more nade, and it will be it for the players from all the diggers. Another nade flies in. Genji does get the revive, but then Flex unfortunately is up. Doesn't really get to heal up, and he's down. Genji trying to heal up because now the push is about to happen. He needs to be prepared. The teammates there as well for Moto Kings are losing players. Seems like their strategy for camping is no longer working out. They're getting dropped one by one. A last player from Gold Digger now is forced to do his thing because if they don't, that is going to be GG's for them. Moto Kings, they have been taken back to lobby GG's on that, Moto Kings. But then your strategy, unfortunately, did not make sense, or rather, did not work for that last fight you guys just had. Project X are watching from afar there, where Zeus Morris is right above them. Strike Esports as well has been taken back to lobby. Molly's didn't really work for them when they were trying, not Molly's smokes, when they were trying to smoke out the place. They are trying to make it to the safe zone. That did not really work out at all. Genji, last player from Gold Diggers, are now waiting it out, waiting from the players for the players from Project X to be taken out by the players from Zeus Morris, but I don't think that's going to be the case because Zeus Morris is patient. They do not want to engage. They're just gauging the place here. The zone is about to shift again. Fifth phase of the zone, going to the sixth phase. A lot of teams are not in the safe zone. We have at least 2 teams in the safe zone. We can see another team trying to make it to the zone as well. But then Magicians and every other team that is not in zone needs to start moving because the damage that is going to come with this zone is going to be a little bit high to be handled by just healing up while driving. We can see now Project X changing their position. Quite unfortunate that we do not have a lot of teams making it to the last zone. A lot of teams are getting taken back to lobby. And it's going to be very, very interesting what is going to happen right now to these teams. We have 7 teams remaining. Zone is getting smaller. Sixth phase of the zone, 30 seconds in. The teams are going to be dropped one by one by the zone. Mao Esports watching from afar, trying to pick the best place to hold as the zone closes in. We can see last player from Gold Digger far away from everyone else outside the zone. I think he was just waiting and seeing whether he can get a chance to change his location, but I don't think that was able to take place because of how other teams are still close to them. Mao Esports are losing the players there one by one. Lord is a down beautiful spray there from Faker. Of course, that is going to be a chance to get a task happening there, and Mao Esports trying to get the cover on their team. It doesn't really work out because the player here from ZEUS, that is ZEUS MORIS, unfortunately has been taken by the zone, but then he ensured he went down with at least one player from Mao Esports. 5 teams remaining. Zone is about to get even more intense. We've seen at least 2 teams losing players to the zone. Mao Esports holding right above everyone else, waiting for a chance, but then they have a team right next to them as well. That is Project X Magicians. They're getting damaged. Beautiful spray there gets the first knock. We can see third party sprays here. We have another push there. Another player from Aesthetics gets closer. Magicians are trying to do their thing here, trying to get something happening here, but then the player is still standing, and it is getting hooked up. Is it going to connect here? We're going to be seeing a Kobe. The nade doesn't really get any damage, but then we have another nade getting hooked up. The damage is in. Another nade will be the one that takes him down. Doesn't really land on him, and he's still low. Magicians need to pick up another nade, because why is that nade not connecting? We have RRAGE eSports player attackers. What? I thought I saw Rage being taken back to Lobby, but then they seem to be around. Rage Esports is still in the building. Project X as well is in the building. Mao Esports is in the building. And we're going to be seeing between these teams. You have 4 teams remaining in this zone. We have at least most of them having almost all their players in the game, apart from Project X. They have at least one player remaining. Aesthetics as well. They have just one player. And it seems like, oh, what? Damn, they didn't even last. Okay. Okay, that does make sense. More esports right now, Rage esports as well. Rage almost got their winner chicken dinner in the previous game. But like I said, there is a pattern when it comes to these qualifiers. The team that wins game 1 and doesn't win, the team that gets position 2 definitely tries to get their winner chicken dinner when it comes to the next game. I just don't know if it's going to be the same case for Rage Esports, because now esports are definitely putting the pressure here. The nades are flying in. He's trying to get some cover fire here, but then the best thing to do is to get the revive. Beautiful damage that the Mao Esports players, the P5s are definitely quacking out, and the damage is in, but then unfortunately Mao Esports takes out the last players from Rage Esports. 2 teams remaining, ESPADA and Mao Esports are now standing. ESPADA has only one person remaining, that is Lado. And the Mao esports players are really trying to take him out. The taps from the Mini 14, they know of his location. I don't know what he's firing at, but then he seems to be trying to warm up his fingers. Oh, the damage is in. The nades are getting pre-naded. But then did they connect? We have Atrox, they're getting closer, trying to heal up. Then the damage from the nade. But then unfortunately, Mao esports player Atrox, feeling a little bit confident, does get the push there on the last player from Espada, taking him all the way back to lobby, and that is winner Chicken Dina for Mao Esports. Finally, I saw the fans in the comment section asking about Mao Esports, and now finally you have not been disappointed. The winner Chicken Dina is finally there for your team. GG's to you guys. Mao Esports for getting the chicken. Dina, unfortunately for the player there from Espada, he was outnumbered. He was just but a solo. That, of course, did disadvantage him, did prevent him from getting a winner chicken dinner for their team. But then this happens. It's something that takes place when you're playing in a competitive scene. So, of course, congratulations to you, Mao Esports. They had the numbers. They had enough confidence to go ahead and go for that push, because they knew only one person was remaining, the only person that was standing between them and a winner chicken dinner. And they took that opportunity and they went ahead for that push, and that did get them a beautiful chicken dinner. So GG's to you guys. A well-deserved winner chicken dinner for your team, and that is exactly what we want to see when it comes to the East Africa Clash group stage qualifiers. Winner chicken dinner team starts. We have their Mao Esports player Skydo getting one elimination. dealing a damage of 398. We can see Zekro 7 eliminations, a damage of 766. Atrox also tied with him there on 7 eliminations, a damage of 854. And then we have Lord 1 elimination with a damage of 351. This team, of course, went all out. The damage is finally there. And you can see the number of eliminations that 2 players got. That is actually 14 from just 2 players. That gave them a total of 14 points in terms of 2 players only. 16 eliminations in, and they got 26 points total, giving them one step ahead from the team that won the first game. Magicians getting 12 points, RRAGE eSports getting 9, Project X 8, Strike eSports tying with ESPADA at 6, Gold Diggers 5, 4PF 4, ZEUS MORIS 3, REDSO and MOTO Kings tying at 2 points, Aesthetic Extreme and SLYTHERIN 1 point each, Neon eSports, Cars eSports, and SFCX eSports getting 0 points each. I mean, Mao eSports, that was actually expected. We saw how they took their time and engaged in those fights. And of course, it is something we had expected to see. And now you can see Atrox. We have him dominating game 1. I thought it was going to be MVP game 1, but then game 2 he gets it. 7 kills in the bag, 854 damage, 2 assists, and 4 knockouts for his team, surviving a total of 21 minutes, 21 seconds in that game. GG's to you, Mao eSports. Head to head there, a total of eliminations for Mao eSports at 16, Magicians getting 9. Total damage dealt for Mao eSports is 2,369, Magicians getting 1,485. Mao eSports getting 12 knockouts, Magicians getting 7. Total time spent in the blue juice is 3 minutes for Mao eSports, and Magicians getting 7 minutes in the blue zone. That is actually very interesting because the zone was actually very, very heavy. I don't know how they managed to make it all there, but then it does make sense. They got their winner chicken dinner. Well, yeah, well, that is it for game number 2. GG's to you, Mao eSports, for getting the winner chicken dinner. We have 2 more games to go, and we'll be calling it a night. And as we wait for that game to start, do the necessary like, share, and subscribe, and we'll be right back. All right, we are back. Third game of the night, that is Sunhawk. We have seen game one, game two, and we are down to game three. These are the Group D qualifiers for the East Africa Clash. I mean, Group D is actually very surprising because the teams that people are saying on the comment section are the teams that we are seeing getting the winner chicken dinners. So let me hear in the comment sections which team do you think is going to get the winner chicken dinner when it comes to the third game of the night, and that is Sunhawk, Land of the Snakes, a flight path coming from Lakawi all the way to Camp Alpha. We're going to be seeing a lot of early fights. This is totally expected when it comes to Tucson Hawk. Fights happen very early in the game. People lose their players, if not the whole team. People lose their players throughout the game, and that's something we're going to be waiting to see. How is it going to play out at the end of the day? And just as you can see, Mount Esports is already leading in terms of points, but then they do not have to be comfortable because it's only 6 points away before they lose their position there. Even Project X is not that far as well, being in position 3. They need to be careful of Magic because they're also magicians. Sorry, they only have 1 point away from taking their slot when it comes to the point section. Looking at Paradise is out there, we can already see some fight happening. Gold Diggers, the teammate is already getting damaged. The push is there. Strike Esports going for that push. Let's go. GG's. One knock in, and the guy has been taken back to lobby from Gold Diggers. This is something that happens a lot. The unexpected fights very early in the game. Players start losing their teammates one by one. Teams start becoming tense because how can we be losing players this early? We have the Moto Kings, the most strategic team when it comes to holding of buildings and compounds, are now getting exposed to REDSO. They've been spotted there. We have seen some nades getting hooked up. Boomerang getting a nade thrown to his end, doesn't get knocked, but then he's really low. And we have there Terry getting that knock. GG's on you, Terry, getting the knock there on Boomerang. And his teammates now are trying to get closer. Hakim and his teammates are now exposed. The players are from REDSO know that they have a team right next to them, and that is the Moto Kings. Boomerang has to be revived, or else they'll be losing players one by one. And the game has just begun. We are in the first phase of the zone. We have at least 1 minute in before we can go to the second phase. So what is going to be the next strategy when it comes to the Moto Kings? Mkali, they are trying to go for the revive, and it is GG's to Mkali, second up in. Moto Kings are losing players one by one. Mkali is down, Boomerang is down. We can see now Hakim and Finya are now the only ones remaining from the team. Hakim as well gets knocked. That means one person remains, and we can see Finya in Swahili. That means someone who's actually very good at the game. And that is exactly what we expect to see from Finya, waiting patiently for one of the players from REDSO to get closer to him, and he'll be going for that push there. He's going for that push against the last one of the players from REDSO, goes for that push, and the S12K stops him there before he could do anything. The player there has been taken back to lobby. We have now one team already sitting in lobby right now. This is just the third game. Remember, only 9 teams make it to the next stage. That is going to be the group stage for the East Africa Clash. $2,000 on the line. Every single team that makes it to the finals from top 16, they all go home with something. So you have to be keen enough to make it to the finals. Your goal should just be making it to the finals to get something for your team. And like I said, the MVP is the player that is going to be the happiest when it comes to prizes, because the MVP by himself goes home with $100. So as you enjoy the game, as you try to make it to the finals and you play in the finals, just make sure your skills are up, the kills you're getting, the damage you're putting in, the survival time you're putting in makes you become the MVP in the East Africa Clash, and you get to walk out with $100. Remember, in this East Africa Clash, we have 8 regions being represented. The main question is, how many regions will be making it to the finals? It seems just a statement, but then we started with 8. We had Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Mauritius, Madagascar, Ethiopia, Djibouti, which team? Somalia. I mean, if your team doesn't really make it to the finals, what are you going to do? But let's just have a quick look at the players, the top kills here. We have Atrox getting 9 kills. We have Tacos coming second with 8. Knight from Project X 7, tying with the Zekro from Mao with 7, and then we have ZEUS getting 1 player there with 6 eliminations. That is Tinodu, and that is actually really good stuff there to the top 5 that players with the most skills when it comes to group they will love to see it. Like I said, make sure you're liking, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like button like your life depends on it. It could be my YouTube has a glitch, so you have to confirm that the like button works. You understand? So hit that like button. If it works, you're good to go. Then it's probably my side and your side is okay. So let's get to it. These are the East Africa Clash games. Like I was saying, probably from the 8 countries, we might be having even 4 making it to the finals. You might be having even 3. You never know, because we have 2 more stage to the finals. We have the group stage and you have the semi-finals. So from those 2 stages, we're going to be seeing which regions make it to the finals. I hope you're supporting your countries there in the comment section. Put in those flags for your countries, whichever country you come from. Ethiopia, put your flag. Djibouti, let's go. Kenya, Somalia, Tanzania, Uganda, Mauritius, Madagascar. Put those flags up. We need to see you guys. We have a fight here. Finally, the first knock here from ZEUS MORIS. Getting a knock there. We have a second knock is in. And he's feeling confident because he's also the top 5 players with the most kills when it comes to Group D. And they're still going in for that push. Ma eSports losing players already. They won the last game. I don't know if it's a jinx thing when you're playing these games, or as soon as you win a game, you start losing the second game that follows after that. We have a beautiful spray here from Tinondo. Man, that name is hard. But then we have Tina, but the sprays are definitely connecting. The D-scope is definitely doing that thing on the M416. But then he has to be careful. ISO Mao eSports are not really that far. You can see Sky is closer to them. He's the only person remaining from his team. They got their winner chicken dinner, but are they going to be losing their points again this early? Unfortunately, Moto Kings, we saw them. They're very good at holding compounds. They're very good at waiting out for a fight, but then that did not pay out. Did not happen in this third game of the Knights and Hawk. It is okay. Moto Kings, you still have a chance of trying again. You have one more game to be playing tonight, and we'll be calling it a day for the Group D group stage qualifiers to the group stage. And now with just 14 teams remaining, the zone is about to close in. You can see what is happening there. The teams are now trying to make it to the safe zone. Outside boot camp, you have at least 2 teams there. We're going to be seeing other teams as well passing by when it comes to going towards the zone. Sami is also occupied with the team. They're feeling safe because that is a safe zone to be in. We have players coming from ruins as well. They need to get closer. Teams inside me, they need to start moving, and that is what is going to start to help them get their wins for this game. As long as you don't lose players to the zone, I believe you're good. If you lose players to the zone, that's when it starts hurting, because I mean, it's not a player, it's the zone having its time with you guys. Excuse me. So you have to find a way of surviving through it all. We have another fight happening here. Neon eSports are just taking on the players from Cars eSports as well. One player is down. We have Tony going for that push there. Probably a nade should suffice. Should make his work easy, but then I don't think he has that in mind. Klaus passing by does get a knock again on Cars eSports, the vehicle. Neon eSports going for that push. Tony having a good time with Klaus here as well, passing by the vehicles. DBS is in. The sprays are coming from Cars eSports, trying to get some damage to Neon. Doesn't really get anything happening there, but then the player from Neon eSports with the DBS in a moving vehicle takes out the last player from Cars eSports. Excuse me. How impressive is that? That is what we call skills, my people. That is what we call 1000 IQ skills. That's what we call Levinho level skills. That's the player you look up to. Probably everyone has a different type of player they look up to. But then if that's a player you look up to, then the players here from Neon Esports are not disappointing us. They're doing their thing, they're getting their kills, and now they have to get closer to the zone, because as soon as you stay outside the zone, you're probably going to start losing players one by one. And let's get to it. You have also REDSO here passing by the vehicles. They're trying to look for a safe zone. But then you have a lot of teams are passing by close to them as well. We can see teams are also going to be engaging in fights. Looking at the zone right now, we have a couple of teams that are not in the safe zone. They need to get going. They need to get closer to each other now, because as soon as the zone closes, you have a team like Strike Esports doing a very wide flank there on the eastern side of Sanok, going towards the southeastern side of Sanok as well. Camp Charlie is empty. We have people in Sami still waiting. Their cow is being people are leaving cow right now. We have a lot of teams engaging in a lot of flanks right now. They're trying to be as safe as possible. Dogs might not be a safe place. Strike Esports might be encountering a team. They're right in front of them, and we can see the fast knock there is in. And Strike Esports gets that knock, and unfortunately, the teammate goes outside the vehicle and gets knocked. The need to get that kill is what is making them lose players. The desperate move to get points is what costs a team. So you have to be careful not to lose players at this juncture of the game. And we have now Neon Esports going closer to ZEUS. MORIS, the spray definitely does connect. Fabian getting a knock and immediately getting the thrust there on Neon Esports. Another player is down. Tony trying to do his thing here. The spray there from the S12K, actually not a spray, but then the S12K does its thing, and that is it for the player there from Neon Rising, being taken back slowly by not Neon Rising. What am I saying? ZEUS. I've been saying Neon Rising a lot because I know a team Neon Rising. So pardon me on that. Neon Esports getting the S12K knock and fast, and that gives the players here a confidence to go for that push. ZEUS is in for that push, and Nate gets cooked up by Tony. A beautiful name to be said, because we know a Tony that does the thing there. The Nate does the connect. I mean, another Nate is getting cooked up. Do you have a Kobe again? But then Tony does his thing and now goes to the revive on his teammate, getting those knocks. That's give him some time to regroup and change and think of a way of going for that push there. We have the MVP player with the top kills going for that push, and Tony is up again, gets another knock on him. The S12K from Tony is not disappointing. One grenade might be the only thing stopping Neon Esports from doing their thing. Neon Tony doesn't stop getting the revive on his teammate. He finished, his teammate tries to revive, to heal up here now. Tony is down, the teammate there gets pushed, and just like that, Tony's efforts just went to the drain. Unfortunately, they were surrounded, a full team versus a duo. One man, actually, Tony, constantly getting the knocks, getting the revive, but then it doesn't really work out, and he's taken back to lobby. So GG's to you, Tony. We love to see it. And now we have the players here from REDSO. We have just 11 teams remaining. Third phase of the zone, 50 seconds in. We're going to be going to the fourth phase of the zone. The damage from the zone is going to be a little bit more intense. 4PF here as well, still surviving. We have REDSO. They're doing a little bit of Vin Diesel driving. I don't know what the strategy is with the driving there, but then if it works, then why not use it? And now as we watch these games, we're just getting to realize Group D is the only team, or rather the only group, that doesn't have constant winners. It is the only group that has new types of winners every single time. We have a team that won the first game being taken back to lobby too early. We've seen Mao losing players. They have one person remaining from their team. He's not moving a muscle. He's been holding a compound for the longest time possible. REDSO as well are losing players already. We have players from RRAGE eSports are watching from afar. RRAGE had a chance of getting chicken dinners from the word go. Game 1, they had a chance. Unfortunately, the Molly there took him out. Game 2, they also had another chance, but then Mao eSports came in, took them out as well. So now all they need to do is try and get their chicken dinner again, because if they don't do it, then who will do it for them? So let's just wait and see if that's going to be the case for them in this game. A lot is happening. Teams are trying to get their flanks in. Bandai might not be the safest place anymore, because now the safest place is going to be a little bit more in the Camp Charlie region, as well as the open field right in front of that. Beautiful spray here from SLYTHERIN. Doesn't get a damage, but then the damage is quite high. The zone is about to close in. We have a little bit down to 5 seconds, and the teams are going to be forced to move now. SLYTHERIN team is outside the zone. The damage from the zone is quite high. They need to start moving, or else they'll be losing points in this game to the zone. REDSO is safe in the zone. Zone about to close in as well. A lot of teams are not in the zone. Teams are coming from the cave. They need to start moving. 4PF here as well, closer to REDSO. A fight might be happening here. They're in the same compound. A little bit split there, but then as soon as they get the first knock, that will be the only thing they need to go ahead and get the points up. We have a team here as well holding a compound, doesn't really want to expose themselves. A Strike eSports taking out players from Project X. The fight is back to back there. Strike losing players as Project X as well, losing players. 4PF holding this building patiently. They didn't want to expose themselves. We have another knock there, and the Boy Butter gets a fast knock there on Strike. Another knock there from Strike, getting a player from Project X. Knight, Bindon run remaining. DBS is in. Starlight hooks up a nade. But you have a Kobe. It seems like Knight wants to change his position The nade is getting cooked up. We might be seeing a Kobe on Knight. The damage is there, and then again, Knight tries to cook up a nade on Starlight. Doesn't really get anything happening there, but then the nade, if it connected, might have just led to a beautiful Kobe for their team. And now just Project X having 3 players down, 1 player standing. ZEUS is now joining the party. Teams have to be on alert now. Strike Esports is now feeling pressured. Initially, Project X was the pressured team, but now ZEUS coming from behind the dust with the pressure on Strike Esports. The damage is there. Fast knock in. 1 player from Strike is under the Starlight. We can see a lot of rotations happening there from ZEUS. Project X getting the revive. Luckily for them, the players from Strike Esports are distracted. Pavian getting closer as well. The damage there from Van is in, trying to get another damage. And ZEUS, the spray does connect. The nade does get in. The damage is there. And the S12K takes out the last player from Strike Esports. GG's to you, ZEUS, MORIS, and Project X, because their revives are happening one by one. We have again Knight trying to get the revive again for his teammate. He just got this revive previously, but then again he is still going for that revive because his teammate got knocked again. More esports, unfortunately for them, have been eliminated as well. The DBS is in play. The damage there from the DBS is in, but then Project X is outnumbered, and that is GG's for Project X. 8 teams remaining. Third phase of the zone. The zone is about to get a little bit smaller. Project X has been taken back to lobby. Quite unfortunate. I don't think that was part of their plan. And now we have the aesthetics team losing players as well. 2 players are down. 1 player remains standing. ZEUS MORIS tries to make it to the zone, but now the magicians are now exposed as well to a fight. The zone is quite damaging. RRAGE eSports doesn't want this team to make it to the zone at all. The damage is there. The cover fires are there. RRAGE eSports finally gets a revive on their teammate. Sly as well seems to be losing players. A lot is happening at the same time. A lot is changing. We have magicians there. Smoke are being taken out. Magicians are trying to make it to the zone. Aim cut is low. The zone is damaging, and that is it for the magicians. They have been taken back to lobby courtesy of PUBG Mobile. RRAGE eSports holding the same building. Hill there. They have been spotted by a team that is in the building. That is RRAGE eSports taking them back to lobby. 6 teams remaining. REDSO holding the same compound. Sly as well is in the game. 4PF is in the game as well. They need their points up. They're 5 points in, 10 more points, and they'll be in the top 9. But is that going to be possible tonight? Let's just wait and see what's going to happen. ZEUS here taking on the players from the Aesthetics Extreme, a team that won the first games. A winner chicken dinner. Nade flies in from team. The nade doesn't really connect there, but the damage is that there. You can see the players are getting really damaged from ESPADA right beneath them. I don't know what's going to happen here right now. 5 teams remaining. A lot of teams are getting exposed to fights. REDSO being eliminated. That does put them at a very tight spot right now. They're losing points one by one. We have teams still trying to cook up the nades. They're trying to get the Kobe's. The nade gets someone there, beautiful Kobe. A second nade might be the best thing for now. A molly getting cooked up there by team. Another molly gets thrown in. Everything is being thrown towards the players from ESPADA. They're being cooked up. They're getting cooked. And yes, they've been cooked all the way back to lobby, and that leaves just 3 teams remaining. Sly, they win their last player being spotted by ZEUS MORIS. I try to get some damage happening there. 4PF as well is in the building, trying to be as safe as possible. They've gathered enough points for their team, and all they need is a winner chicken dinner. Sly getting exposed to the players from ZEUS. Pavian is low. The damage is definitely being registered from SLYTHERIN. They're trying to get some sprays there on 4PF. Getting distracted does make them be spotted by the players from ZEUS. We can see a push there finally. ZEUS MORIS trying to get some meds in his bag here. The nades are getting looked for. Pass knock in from 4PF. Habibi gets 1 player from SLYTHERIN, and now SlyNG gets another knock on 4PF as well. 4PF losing players one by one, and 4PF takes out the SLYTHERIN team all the way back to lobby, leaving just 2 teams remaining. That is 4PF and the players there from ZEUS. Fury doesn't really think it through. He's down. The spray there from Lucifer takes him out, leaving just 2 players from 4PF. The zone is closing in. 4PF, Habibi has been spotted, and GG's. It is a good game to 4PF, and a winner chicken dinner to ZEUS MORIS. GG's to you guys for that winner chicken dinner. That was actually well deserved. The strategy, they took their time. They've literally fought at least 5 teams concurrently. They've been fighting back to back, And now finally, ZEUS MORIS does get their winner chicken dinner. Their strategies finally pay off, and it is what we want to see at the end of the day. We want to see teams strategizing. We want to see teams coming up with the best decisions. The IGLs are making the best decisions, saying what is deserved. And this is exactly what we wanted to see. So congratulations again to ZEUS Esports. For PF, you almost had a winner chicken dinner. But then tables, unfortunately, were not on your side. There was nothing to be eaten on the table. And then we had ZEUS coming in after he took out SLYTHERIN, and they had the official winner chicken dinner game. And going in just to see the stats for the team that has won, we want to see in the ZEUS team which player was doing the most there. We have Fabian getting 4 eliminations at a damage of 558. Teen getting 6 eliminations, a damage of 1,342. We have Faker getting 4 eliminations, a damage of 115. And then Lucifer getting 3 eliminations and a damage of 646. That is 646. That is quite good because the team itself has split the damage across the team. They have been giving each other cover fire. They have engaged in many fights, but they ensured at the end of the day they won the game as a team, and that did definitely pay out. We saw ZEUS team with the Kobe's. I mean, if he doesn't get man of the match, I don't know who will. ZEUS MORIS from that game gets a total of 27 points. 4PF bagging 10 points in. REDSO getting 9. SLYTHERIN tying there with ESPADA 8 points. Aesthetic Extreme getting 5. Neon eSports, RAGE eSports, Strike eSports getting 4 points each. Magicians 2 points in. Mao eSports, Kaz eSports, and Project X getting 1 point each. And then we have the Gold Diggers, SFCX eSports, and MOTO Kings getting 0 points each. Actually, this is actually what I was talking about. If 4PF got 10 points in, that would have helped them get their goal at the end of the day. But then GG's to you, ZEUS. That was actually well deserved. Like I said, if ZEUS team did not get the MVP, I don't know who would. Getting 6 kills and dealing a damage of 1,342, getting 6 assists and 9 total knockouts in that game. That does make sense. And he actually survived a total of 18 minutes and 34 seconds. So GG's to you, ZEUS, for that beautiful play, and 14 with the amazing grenades. Looking at the head-to-head, we have ZEUS MORIS getting 17 eliminations, 4PF getting 4. ZEUS dealing a damage of 2,661, and 4PF dealing a damage of 429. Total knockouts on ZEUS are 15. I said it. They had a lot of fights. And 4PF getting 1 knockout. We have a time in the blue for ZEUS as 22 seconds, and for 4PF as 7 seconds. That was expected for 4PF because they did not engage in any fight till the end of the game. That led them to get in position 2. And the tables have turned. Total leaderboard is in ZEUS MORIS getting position 1, 41 points in, leaving Mao eSports with at least 20 with more than 15 points, getting 29 points in. RRAGE eSports with 26, Aesthetic with 21, Magicians with 19, Tiny Project X at 19, ESPADA 18 points, 4PF getting 15, REDSO getting 13 points, Kaz eSports getting 12, Neon eSports and Gold Diggers getting 11 points, Strike eSports getting 10, SLYTHERIN 9, MOTO Kings at 2, and SFCX getting 0 points from that game. I mean, this was totally expected, and congratulations to you, ZEUS Esports, for getting the winner chicken dinner that let you get in position 1. We have one more game to go tonight, and do not go anywhere. Just like the live, subscribe, and share. We'll be right back. Bye. Okay, we are back. Last game of the night. I mean, if game three was not enough, we are about to be a little bit impressed with what is going to happen in the last game. This is the last straw for Group D to make it to the next stage, and that is only 9 teams that will be qualifying when it comes to this stage. That is in the qualifying stage. We head on over to the group stage. We already have 27 teams that have qualified, and now we're waiting to see which 9 teams from Group D are going to be qualified now when it comes to the last game that is in Erangel. Just to have a quick look at the flight path, we can see it's coming from, actually it's leaning mostly on the southern side of Erangel. We have a lot of teams, they seem to have already exited the plane. They want to go towards Gatka Hospital, Georgiapol. We're going to be seeing something happening around that side because of how people have decided to go. In Ferry Pier and Primos, actually Ferry Pier is empty. No one has gone there. We have one team, 2 teams actually, sorry, in Primos there. And the zone decided, all right, you think life is hard? I can make it harder for you. It decided that it's going to force players to go now towards the southern side of Erangel. The team's now going to be forced to move from all the way in Georgia Pole Hospital, depending on where these teams that are going that side are going to, and come towards the side. Already we have teams getting knocked in Primos. That means fights already taking place. Some already losing players in these fights. So how far are you willing to go to qualify and be a part of the top 9 teams that make it to the next stage? As you're watching again, guys, like I said, if you want to be able to experience this beautiful production, good quality on the live, seeing everything in the game, live feed of your stats, make sure to check on GPE Esports on Instagram, and you can DM them and they'll be there to help you guys and offer you this type of production. And for everyone else that is participating in this game, you guys are OGs, all right? We appreciate you and we thank you guys for your support for this far. And remember, $2,000 is on the line. Finals, top 16 teams go home with a bit of the prize pool. So ensure your goal is just to make it to the finals. Not even to just be top one, just make it to the finals, be in the top 16, and you'll be the happiest you could ever be when it comes to playing in the East Africa Clash games. For the MVP, he gets or she gets $100 from the prize pool. So again, strive to be an MVP. But so far, it's looking very hard here for Kazi Sports. They have one of their players already knocked. That is Ninja. Every other player is low. Gold diggers are now finally back on their groove. It is the last game. You need to get your points up. This, how far are you from making it to the next step of the game? And let's just have a quick look. So far, so good. ZEUS is leading 41 points in. Mao is at 29. The margin there between position 2, 3, and 4 is quite small. Anything could happen. Position 1 team, ZEUS, is very safe. 41 points in. They need a couple of more points just to make sure they stay at position 1. But then for every other team, they have a lot to do. Position 9, 8, and 7 is also a little bit tight. Anything could happen between those teams as well. They need to be as safe as possible. They need to avoid fights as much as possible. And to do that, they need to rethink their strategy. They need to think, is it worth it to expose ourselves to this fight or not? Is what we are doing are going to make us lose this fight? Are we going to get more points? Seems like Mao Esports is already engaged in a fight. Project X are losing players as well. A lot is happening for these teams. Some have decided it is what it is. We don't know if we've qualified or not. Some are saying we've qualified. We do not need anything much, so let's just get to it. So it's going to be a little bit tricky for most teams, to be honest, because they're playing at a very unstable type of environment right now. It's more of, do you want to qualify? Do you not want to qualify? Are we going to go for this push? Are we not going to go for this push? But then it's all dependent on your IGL, and it's all dependent on your trust for your IGLs. The zone is about to move again. We only have ZEUS, one team all the way in Georgiapol. Every team that went towards the north western side of Erangel, towards Georgiapol Hospital and Gatka, are now coming towards everyone else. They're going closer to the zone. When you look on the right side here and the eastern side around Milta, Novo, the teams are now closing in on each other. We're going to be seeing teams holding the bridge. They're waiting for someone to make a mistake. Military base has only 2 teams on that side, and they feel a little bit safe on that lower southern side of Erangel. right next to the bridge in military base. We have another team there, just waiting for people to cross that bridge. So it's going to be a very interesting last game for us tonight. To be honest, the teams are now going to be forced to rethink their strategy. Are we going to be crossing using the bridge, or are we going to be crossing using the ocean? Are we going to be using the ocean to go to the next zone? But that all depends on the IGL and what he thinks is the best. So far, again, teams are losing players one by one. Some teams have already lost players. They're just one a player remaining, or even two players remaining from their team. So it is really, really unfortunate that that is happening to most of the teams there. I mean, a lot happens. And you just have to be at the right place at the right time. I said Kazi Sports losing players again. Excuse me, one player remains standing from their team. Neon Esports waiting by the bridge seems like making it to Novo might not be easy. But then for Neon Esports as well, they need to be careful, because if you do not think through how you're going to be fighting on the bridge, you're going to be exposing yourselves to teams that are already in Novo, because we have at least one team in Novo, and if they decide to get closer to Neon, then they're going to be hit by an element of surprise. They're going to be battling a fight they did not plan to engage in. We have Strike Esports coming from the back there, where we have the players from from Project X. That means a fight will transpire there sooner or later. We're just going to wait and see how is it going to happen and when is it going to happen. Of course, like I said, make sure you like the live. Make sure you tap on that like button. Your likes match the number of viewers. That is the only support I'm asking for. And if you can subscribe to my channel as well, that will be really, really helpful. We have more esports. They're going for that push. We have just one guy right above them. Already they're down three players. I don't know what happened to Kaz Esports. But then they engage in an early fight. Mao Esports feeling confident for that push, and a bunny trying to stay as calm as possible, trying to stay as composed as possible. Shotgun is in, one shot, and he's out. Like I said, shotgun, one shot, GG's. Kazi Sports have been taken back to lobby. Zekro, man of the match, takes him out to just one shotgun shot, and it is GG's for that guy. 14 teams remaining. So far, a couple of teams have already lost their players, their teammates. Looking at top four teams, at least actually four teams so far have lost a couple of teammates. I don't know what happened or how people chose to land in this game, but then it definitely did cost them their teammates there. That definitely did make them engage in unexpected fights without thinking it through. They lost a couple of players in that fight. Let's just have a quick look at the zone and see what is happening so far. The teams flanking. ZEUS coming all the way from Judge Pool, trying to make it to the zone. They have another team right next to them. They have to be careful as well on that side. On the side of military base, the teams have been able to cross the bridge because there were no bridge campers on that side. That did give them a chance to cross easily without losing any of their players to any unexpected fight. Military base now is looking a little bit crowded. That means again fights will be happening too fast. We're just going to wait and see when and how are they going to happen, and which teams are going to be losing their players this early in the game. Just in the second phase of the zone, 2 minutes or less, we'll be going to the third phase of the zone. The damage from the zone will increase. 4PF finally taking on the players there from MOTO Kings. I mean, when two Kenyan teams encounter each other, there is a lot that is going to happen here. We can see also REDSO seems to be engaged in a fight. SLYTHERIN as well is in a fight. But what is going to happen here, because Mao Esports finally getting closer to the players from REDSO, getting at least none of them getting knocked yet. But the damage, of course, is going to be there from the sprays. 4PF, unfortunately, have been taken out by the Moto Kings. Nah, that is unexpected. OPF being taken out by Moto Kings, that is something we had not expected to happen at all. Strike Esports getting exposed here to a fight. Seems like RRAGE as well is trying to get something happening here against Mao Esports. Lord still scouting out the place here. Strike mix nice nade. Does get Sly all the way back to lobby. Another team is taken back to lobby. Two teams done. We have just 12 teams remaining. Sorry, three Three teams are down, and we have just 12 teams remaining. More esports passing by where we have REDSO, another place where we're going to be expecting some fight to happen there sooner or later. But then ZEUS is looking quite promising as well. Unfortunately, they're losing one of their players. Has been taken back to lobby. They're trying to make it to the safe zone. They're trying to flank there, but like I said, in Ferry Pier, they were going to be seeing people close to them, and that is exactly what is happening. They're losing players to a fight that they did not anticipate. Strike Esports stays on the other side of the bridge. They need to cross this other side as well just to come towards Novo. They need to engage in that fight, whether they like it or not, because in the Novo Hill, we have people waiting on them to cross using the ocean. So that's something you're going to be seeing, whether it's going to be the case or not. This is the last game for Group D, the only chance to make it to the next stage, that is the group stage, for their team to be qualified as part of the East Africa Clash group stage. Teams, remember, $2,000 on the line. What are you willing to do? What are you willing to risk? Are you going to engage in that fight without wanting? Are you going to expose yourselves to third party fights? Are you going to hold out compounds? What is going to be your strategy? Gold diggers are just waiting patiently by the bridge. They have one team right across the bridge, because we can see a team used the ocean to cross there to make it to the zone. I don't know what happened to ZEUS, but they seem to be as well thinking of a way they're going to be flanking and making it to the zone right now without losing one more player, because they already lost one player. There are three players in. That's something you're going to be seeing, whether it's going to be changing or not. Neon as well taking on Strike. That means that they tried to cross that bridge, and a fight is definitely happening there. They've been taken down one by one. Neon and Strike taking each other in. A lot is happening on this bridge. Mix being the only one standing from his team. Starlight is down, and he has to rethink their strategy. How are we going to go for that push and not lose our points? Remember, we have already lost at least three teams. And for Strike Esports, they have lost three players so far. Starlight getting taken all the way back to lobby. Neon Esports now just having a good time by the bridge. The zone is about to get a little bit more damaging. We're about to be moving to the fourth phase of the zone. The fights are now going to get a little bit more intense. We're going to be having third-party fights. We're going to be seeing a lot of camping, because all you need to be is in the top 9 to be on the next stage of the East Africa Clash group stage that is going to be happening from the 26th of February. If you want to see the schedule, just make sure you check on Discord, and you'll be seeing when the dates are, and you can prepare your teams for the next stage. 27 teams plus this 9 teams, 36 teams in the group stage. The fight will be a little bit more intense. Teams will be losing points this fast, because if you do not qualify, if you not take time to engage in fights, for example, in the qualifying stage, some teams are making the wrong calls, losing their points, losing a chance to qualify. Now we can see a fight happening there. We have Gold Diggers who damage that, gets the fast knock, then takes the player back to lobby immediately. Magicians losing one player as they try to cross the zone. And we can see one of the players, Smokey, watching from afar. They're trying to create as many chances to cross the bridge as possible. ZEUS Esports, still losing players. I don't know why people have decided to engage in fights this early. The zone is not yet that small. They need to re-strategize. They need to rethink how are we going to cross this. Neon did expose themselves to this while the already judgeable came in with a late rotation, losing players one by one. One person remains standing from ZEUS, 41 points in the bag. Will they be losing this last game because they have enough points, or will they be gathering their points because they need these points to proceed in the next stage, even though 41 points is actually a big margin when you compare to the team that is right next to them, and that is ZEUS Esports. So let's see what's going to be happening here, what's going to be the case, and what is going to be changing when it comes to this last game fight. Teams are losing players one by one. 4PF, unfortunately, taken back to lobby. Kaz Esports as well. Sly is already in lobby. 12 teams remaining. I don't know what their strategy is. The top 9 is the goal. The teams that are already in the top 9, ESP as well, should take their time. Project X should take their time, because if they lose a fight now, chances of them losing their position, the top 9, might actually increase, and they need to find a way of surviving this. At the end of the day, Gold Diggers are spotting players right above them. The spray is stable from Unity, but then we did not see any damage on him at all. Everyone is on their way. Everyone is trying to make as much damage as possible so that they can survive and engage in the next battle. Actually, sorry, the next stage is on the 27th of February. Sorry for the confusion. Next stage is on the 27th. Beautiful spray there from Smokey. That's trying to get some damage happening there, but nothing transpires yet. Like I said, guys, make sure you like the live stream, make sure the like match the number of people watching. That will be really helpful. I can see someone asking there, can we see Cars Esports? Unfortunately, Cars Esports has already been taken back to lobby. They engaged in a fight very early in the game, and that of course did cost them, and they were taken back to lobby, which is quite unfortunate. The game is just fresh. They're just engaging in a fight early in, and they were taken back to lobby. So GG's on that. Mao Esports getting the flank happening there. They're trying to make it to the safe zone. Military base seems to be the place where you want to be, but then look at PUBG. They have decided no one is safe. Everyone needs to move now. Hold the compound as early as now. Crossing the bridge was just the first phase, but then getting to the safe zone and holding a compound might just be the hardest thing to do right now. We can see Moto Kings, after taking on the 4PF, are still in the building, this time more confident. They do not have a compound to hold yet, but then they have a small rock they can hold, and if you push that rock, they'll take you all back to lobbies. REDSO have been spotted there. The damage is in, the vehicle is low, might be a damage because if that vehicle explodes, that will lead to them getting knocked without them knowing what to do next other than surrender and go back to lobby. The bridge still looks a little bit occupied. Magicians are trying to make it to the zone. Gold diggers are not letting them move, or they're not letting them pass. But then a Duke Deku, sorry, is ready to risk it all. He has a vehicle. I mean, what's the worst could happen? Take that vehicle and cross that bridge. No one really cares. At the end of the day, you tried, you distracted them, and you're going to have your teammates doing their thing. They're trying to make it to the next zone, that is by crossing this bridge. Gold diggers receiving some damage. And Mao Esports are watching players right next to them, right on the hill. Red so are being exposed there to Mao Esports. There is a push happening there. The player there from REDSO is still down. No one can get the revive happening, and I believe that is GG's for that player. We have now 3 players remaining from REDSO. Mao as well has just 3 players remaining in the zone. Is not anyone's friend. 0 seconds in, and we're going to the 5th phase. The damage might just be a little bit high. Mao Esports are trying to get some damage on REDSO, but then the spray doesn't really connect. The knock doesn't really happen. REDSO Cherry is down. Mao Esports getting spray there from afar. We have the players are getting third-party REDSO and losing all their players, leaving just one person remaining, and that is Impulse. I mean, Impulse right now, all he can do is just camp it out and wait for a chance to do something for his team. 12 teams are still remaining. The only thing that has changed is the number of teammates still surviving. ZEUS MORIS has been taken back to lobby. I mean, the call there from the beginning was not okay. They landed in Judge Pool, did their late rotations, came in, tried to use the bridge, it did not work out, and now they have lost a whole fight because now all of them are in lobby. 41 points in, yes, but then that is enough for sure. But then I don't think that warranted them to play casually and not rethink their how they're going to be doing the rotations in the game. Project X as well are losing players, losing a fight, and they've been taken back to lobby. I mean, every team that has been dominating from game 1 to game 4 is now in lobby. I don't know how that happened, but then we are just going to embrace it and say it's fine. Moto Kings are losing players one by one. The revive is finally taking place. We can see the players from Esports trying to get closer, and the knock there has been confirmed from the aesthetic extremely, with just 1 player remaining, and that is the Federal. 1 player, 1 man has to take on these teams and make sure his team's name doesn't go down the drain. We have now 9 teams remaining. Teams have been taken back slowly one by one. We have a snake there, red, so no one has spotted this guy from the beginning, from the time he landed there. No one has been able to take this guy down. Moto Kings finally getting the revive. I can imagine if Moto Kings comes in and gets the winner chicken dinner. The same team that was camping, they held a room, okay, in Miramar. A team went in, tried to go for that push, and that team, believe you not, I'm sure someone threw the phone, because the shock that comes with meeting campers in a room, that thing can make you can become sick from the shock. I won't even lie to you. that could make you panic at all. A lot, sorry, Neon there getting on the players up down. It seems like they've been able to get the revive. Magicians are still trying to survive here. Zone is about to close in again. 9 teams remaining. We're going to be having an open field type of fight. Teams like Moto Kings have gotten a shot to secure. They're feeling safe, but then as soon as someone goes for that push, they'll be exposed to a lot of fights. I hope they're ready for that. Mao eSports are spotting players are trying to make it a safe zone. A lot of players from the Magicians are getting knocked one by one. Mao eSports, Sky watching from afar, doesn't really want to expose himself. RAGE eSports as well, trying to make it to the zone. Mao eSports with the damage. The nade is in, the damage is there, but doesn't really get a knock there happening. Mao eSports cooks up another nade. Sky is really take on the players here. From RAGE eSports, the damage from the S12K. Sky is down. We're going to be seeing a push up in here. Zekro trying to get some cover on his teammate Mao Lord with the sprays there as well, trying to get some cover on his teammate from RAGE eSports. Another nade gets cooked up by Lord. You have a Kobe, the players from Let's Go. The nade does get closer. We don't really have a knock yet, but the damage is definitely there. Mao eSports players trying to get closer. RAGE eSports with the spray there. Lord is low. You can see the damage as Zekro gets another knock. Zekro is down, and Mao eSports have been taken back to lobby by RAGE eSports. I mean, that fight was looking a lot like a Mao eSports type of win fight, but then tables are turned. RAGE eSports takes out Mao eSports, and that is just 5 teams remaining in the last zone. That is the 6th phase of the zone. Neon eSports going closer to the players from Moto Kings. The space there. The player from Moto Kings goes out for that push, and he's down, taken all the way back to lobby. We have players watching from afar right above the hill there. The sprays are in. Tony sees the players trying to get the revive. The push is in. Tony gets another knock. Tony feeling confident. Tony, man with DBS, jump shots in. Doesn't really get the shots connecting. Tries to get a push up in again. Does try again. The jump shot doesn't really connect. And he's finally feeling confident. And Tony takes out Moto Kings. Like I said, that team will be pushed in that shark. And if they're not ready for that fight, that will definitely cost them. RAGE eSports getting closer to where we have Tony, and immediately he retreats. Because if you hold the shark, once a nade is thrown, there's nothing you can do. The nade will either damage you or take you down. 4 teams remaining. Neon watching from afar. Hancho is down. We have Strike Esports there. Beautiful Kobe. Mix does get a knock there. Neon Tony gets a nade thrown in. Tries to get some damage as well. But then nothing really happens. 4 teams remaining. Every single team now just has a solo player still surviving. Tony tries to get the revive or his knocked teammate. Vin Diesel type of moves here with the reverse driving. That's actually really nice and actually really cool. The players there from Strike trying to get the damage on that vehicle. RAGE eSports as well, trying to get some damage on the Neon's vehicle, but then nothing really changes. The vehicle just getting damaged, but then no one has gotten knocked yet. Tony trying to find the Strike's position as of now, trying to get some cover fire on his teammate. Klaus is down again right after Tony changes his location, right after he gets to revive him. I mean, this is where you say, you just stay down. There's no way I'm waiting for you, Ken. We have Tony going for that push, gets a knock on tacos. And Tony, one man takes out 2 players, goes for that push, and immediately goes and gets 2 players all the way back slowly from RAGE eSports. Takes his vehicle again, goes back to his knocked teammates, and tries to get the revive happening again. Zone is about to close in the next second. He's unable to get the revive on his knocked teammate, and he chooses to just go ahead and move. His teammate is really, really low. Zone is about to close in. Neon eSports player Tony still feeling confident. His teammate is out. His teammate is open. And we can see one player here from Strike eSports moving around the vehicle. The player from REDSO doesn't really know what to do and has been taken back to lobby. 2 teams remaining. Tony hooks up a nade. Is it going to be a Kobe? Someone in the comment section said Tony is a good player, but then we've been seeing it for ourselves live in the East Africa Clash last stage qualifying. That is Group D. Neon Tony goes for that push. Strike Mix is not as confident to go for that push. And Nate goes in again. And Tony, man of the match. Tony, that guy who does LED lights advertisements and he say Tony, 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 and everyone loves Tony. I think now everyone loves Tony because that was actually really good. Tony took his time. He was going for this push. He took out teams single-handedly. His teammates are down. His teammates are in lobby. But then that does not stop Tony from doing what he does best, and that is create a name for his team. takes out a team by himself, goes for that push by himself, and that of course does lead to them getting a winner chicken dinner for his team. So GG's to you, Tony, for getting your team, for getting a Neon Force a winner chicken dinner for this game. Looking at the stats here for their team, we can see Tony getting 7 eliminations, a damage of 946, Ancho 3 eliminations, a damage of 421, Lamron 1 elimination, a damage of 183, and you have Klaus there getting 1 elimination and a damage of 132. I mean, GG's to you, Tony, for dominating that game. We watch it live, 7 eliminations in 946 damage. That is actually very, very impressive coming from you. And from that game, Neon Esports gets 22 points. We have Strike getting 13, Rage Esports 11, REDSO 8, tied with Mao Esports 8 points. Magicians and Moto Kings getting 7 points each. Gold Diggers getting 5. Project X with 2 points. Aesthetic Extreme 2 points. Cars Esports 0. Same to ZEUS, 4PF, SFCX, SLYTHERIN, and ESPADA. They all get 0 points from that game. But the Neon Esports GG's, that is a well-deserved winner chicken dinner. Thanks to your teammate Tony. I mean, look for that guy and buy him a bottle of water, because that is what we call good skills, good craftsmanship for a team. And he survived from the beginning till the end just to get his team's winner chicken dinner, and we love to see it. Looking at the man of the match again, Neon Force player Tony getting 7 kills, dealing a damage of 946, getting 2 assists and a total of 6 knockouts, surviving for a total of 22 minutes in that game. And that 22 minutes definitely paid out, got Tony's team Neon Force a winner chicken dinner. So GG's to you again, Tony. We are proud of you. We love how you've handled that fight. We love how you've taken your time, and it has finally paid off, gotten your team a chicken dinner. So let's go. Let's have a quick head-to-head here for Neon Esports and Strike Esports. 12 eliminations on Neon and 7 on Strike. 1,682 damage dealt from Neon and 792 damage from Strike Esports. Neon getting 11 knockouts, Strike Esports getting 7. Strike spent 7 minutes in the blue. I don't know how or why, but then Neon Esports spent 1 minute in that game. Looking at what happened here. I mean, Neon Esports player Tony took down the players here from Moto King Mkali. I was trying to get the push here on Tony. Tony single-handedly, even though there are third parties watching from afar, went for those pushers, and of course did get those knocks. And in the last fight there, tried to do some jump shots, did not really work out. And when he took his time, thought about it, so that these guys are trying to get the revive, he immediately went for that push and took out the whole team there from Moto Kings. Still getting pushed. Tony took his time, changed his position, went to a safer place. Uncho trying to get some cover as well, supporting his teammate as he engaged in this fight. I don't know how this happened, man, but Tony, man of the match, does his thing, takes out people one by one, and just like that, we had the player here from REDSO been taken back slowly. Tony hooks up another nade. This nade definitely connects, and this is the nade that gets his team a winner chicken dinner. I don't know about you, but then Tony definitely deserved that win. Looking at the stats for all games, we had game 1 as Aesthetics Extremes getting the win. Game 2, Miramar, Mao Esports got the chicken dinner. Game 3, ZEUS got the win there on Sunhawk. And we have Inorangel, last game of the night. We had Neon Force getting the winner chicken dinner for the last game. It has been a beautiful time from game 1 to game 4. For the first time, unlike Group A, B, and C, we have seen a different team taking from game 1 to game 4. We do not have repeat winners. And looking at the leaderboard right now, seems like ZEUS are still at the position 1 with 41 points. Mao Esports and RRAGE Esports come there tying with 37 points. Neon Esports 33, Magicians 26, Aesthetics and Strike 23 points. REDSO and Project X getting 20 points. And these teams, 9 of them have qualified to the next stage. Looking at position 10, ESPADA with 18 points, Gold Diggers 16, 4PF 15, Kaz eSports 12, SLYTHERIN and MOTO Kings getting 9 points each. And then he has SFCX eSports getting 0 points in total for the 4 games that have been played tonight. Again, congratulations to the 9 teams that have made it to the top. Again, congratulations to the team that have made it to the top 9. We love to see it, and you guys deserved it. We'll be seeing you guys on the 27th as we go to the next stage for the East Africa Clash group stages. I hope you guys enjoyed the live. Thank you so much for all the likes. I hope you continue liking if you get to this point of the live, and subscribe to my channel. I'll be seeing you guys on 27. Bye bye.